Hello, grade 2. Our science lesson for this week is about Earth and its resources. And throughout this lesson, we are going to identify ways that change Earth's surface, and we are going to compare and contrast fast and slow Earth changes. First of all, we are going to learn about Earth's surface changes. We are going to see what changes Earth. And we are going to talk first about fast changes. Earth is always changing. Some changes are fast. They happen in minutes, hours, or days. We have three different types of fast changes. An earthquake is a fast change. It is a shaking of Earth's surface. A volcano is also a fast change. It is a place where hot melted rock comes out of the ground. A flood is a fast change. It happens when streams, rivers, or lakes overflow. The water flows onto land. So, here, the first picture shows an earthquake. The second picture shows a volcano. And the third picture shows a flood. Now let's move to slow changes. Some changes to Earth are slow, and slow changes happen over many months or years. First slow change that we are going to talk about is called weathering. Weathering happens when wind and water break down rock into smaller pieces. Erosion is also a slow change. It happens when wind and water move rocks and soil. Erosion changes the shape of land. A drought is a slow change. It is a long time with very little rain. The land gets very dry, streams and ponds may dry up, and wind may blow away the soil. Now the first picture shows an erosion, and the second picture shows a drought. Now we are going to watch a short video that explains floods and droughts.
Welcome to Weather on the Go. Today we're learning about floods and drought.
I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of ragged mountain ranges, of drought and flooding rains.
That's from a famous Australian poem called My Country by Dorothea Mackellar. It's quoted all the time and it's very true. Australia is a land of droughts and flooding rains. A drought occurs when there hasn't been much rain for a long time. In Australia, droughts can last for 10 or more years. Droughts are very difficult for farmers. Droughts can cause crops to die and leave animals without food and water. In cities, droughts can mean that people living in these areas experience water restrictions. These are rules on when you can water your garden or even how long you can shower. Floods happen in opposite conditions, when there is lots and lots of rain. So much that water escapes the creeks and rivers and spreads into usually dry areas. Floods can be dangerous, especially when they happen quickly. There's a common saying here in Australia, which is, if it's flooded, forget it. This is used to warn people not to drive through water on the road. Even if it doesn't look deep, the road can be washed away underneath and the water can be moving very fast. And of course, remember not to play in floodwaters. You never know what's in there. This sunburnt country is beautiful, but it always pays to be careful. In the next episode, find out more about heat waves in Australia.
And now we are going to talk about Earth's different resources. And first of all, we are going to see what are natural resources. By definition, a natural resource is anything from nature that people can use. Some important natural resources are rocks, soil, water, and air. Let's look at the first picture on the left. People drink water, and water is a natural resource. They also use it to cook, bathe, and clean. People breathe air to live, and air is also a natural resource. If we look at the second picture on the right, people use rocks to make buildings, roads, and walls, and they also use soil to grow plants, and soil is a natural resource. Soil has nutrients and water that plants need to grow. Let us continue with natural resources. We have to know that animals and plants are important natural resources too. They come from nature and people can use them. Let's look at these pictures and see how people use animals and plants. Some people use animals for food and clothing. They eat eggs from chickens and they use wool from sheep to make warm clothes. People use plants for food. They also use plants to make and build things. Wood and cotton, for example, come from plants. Now let us summarize what we have been talking about. A natural resource, by definition, is anything from nature that people can use. And we already said that we have many natural resources. We have rock, soil, water, air, animals, and plants. All of these are from nature. They are called natural resources. Finally, we are going to talk about products. Natural resources can be made into products. What is a product? By definition, a product is something made by people or machines for people to use. Now we are going to see two different examples of products that come from natural resources. First example, wheat can be made into cereal and cotton can be made into a shirt. That's it for today, grade 2. Thank you for your attention.